Hello everyone. In this presentation, we will see inheritance and packages. The presentation includes what is inheritance and types of inheritance, defining a subclass and its constructor, what is multi-level inheritance, then how to create the interfaces, similarly, how to create the packages and use the packages. First, we will see what is inheritance. The mechanism of deriving a new class from an old class is called inheritance. The old class is known as the base class or superclass or parent class, and the new class is called the subclass or derived class or child class. The inheritance allows subclasses to inherit all the variables and methods of their parent classes. Inheritance may take different forms, or we call it as the types of the inheritance. In the first, single inheritance, that is only one superclass. Second, multiple inheritance, that is several superclasses are here. Then hierarchical inheritance, one superclass and many subclasses. And number 4, multi-level inheritance, that is derived from a derived class. Here, the figure shows all the 4 types of inheritance. If you see in the first figure, that is the single inheritance, B is the child class which is derived from a superclass called as A. Then, in case of multiple inheritance, C is the child class which is derived from 2 superclasses or 2 parent classes, that is A and B. Similarly, in the hierarchical inheritance, B, C and D, these 3 are the subclasses which are derived from a class A. And in multi-level inheritance, C is the subclass which is derived from B, and B is the subclass which is derived from A. Java does not directly implement multiple inheritance. However, this concept is implemented using a secondary inheritance path in the form of interfaces. Now, how to define a subclass? For this, the general format is given here: class, then the subclass name. After this, we specify the keyword extends, then the superclass name. After this statement, we declare the variables of the subclass as well as the methods of the subclass. Here, the keyword extends signifies that the properties of superclass name are extended to the subclass name. The subclass will now contain its own variables and methods as well as those of the superclass. The subclass constructor. The subclass constructor is used to construct the instance variables of both the superclass and the subclass. The subclass constructor uses the keyword super to invoke the constructor method of the superclass. The keyword super is used subject to the following conditions. Number 1, super may only be used within a subclass constructor method. Second, the call to the superclass constructor must appear as the first statement within the subclass constructor. And number 3, the parameters in the super call must match the order and type of the instance variable declared in the superclass. Here is a program which demonstrates the use of super method. In this program, there are 3 classes. The first one is the room, second is the lab room, and the third one is the lab room test. The lab room class is created by using the room class. That is, For the lab room class is the parent class, or we call it as the super class. In the room class, there is one constructor called as room with two integer parameters. Whereas in the class lab room, there is one constructor called as lab room with three integer parameters. And now if you observe here, the first statement in this lab room constructor is the super, that is super into the bracket x comma y. Now this will call the constructor of the parent class, that is a room class. And in the last class, that is the lab room test class, the main method is defined where we are creating the instance of the lab room class and we are calculating the volume. At the end, we are displaying value of V on the console. What is multi-level inheritance? A common requirement in object-oriented programming is the use of a derived class as a superclass. Java supports this concept and uses it extensively in building its class library. This concept allows building a chain of classes as shown in this figure. C is the child class which is derived from the class B. That is now for the child class C, B is the parent class. Whereas now B itself is derived from the superclass called as A. Therefore now here in this particular hierarchy we call A as the superclass or the grandfather, B as the intermediate class or father, and C as the subclass or child. A derived class with multi-level base classes is declared as, like here, first class A is declared, then class B is declared which is extending class A, and after this we are declaring class C which is extending class B. Interfaces. Java provides an alternative approach known as interfaces to support the concept of multiple inheritance. Like classes, interfaces contain methods and variables but with a major difference. The difference is that interfaces define only abstract methods and final fields. This means that interfaces do not specify any code to implement these methods and data fields contains only constants. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the class that implements an interface to define the code for implementation of these methods. Now, here is the general form of interface definition. We define the interface by using the keyword interface. Followed by the keyword interface, we specify the interface name and then we give variable declaration and method declaration of the interface. In interface, the variables are declared as static, final, then we specify the data type, after that the variable name and its value. Similarly, the method definition will contain only a list of methods without body statements, as here the return type and then the method name, and after this we specify the list of parameters. Example of interface definition that contains two variables and one method. The interface is the atom interface and the two variables are code and the name, and one method is here now display method. Now the class that implements this interface must define the code for the method display. Like classes, interfaces can also be extended. That is, an interface can be sub-interfaced from other interfaces. As in the general format, first we write the interface keyword, then the name of the sub-interface, that is interface name 2, then the keyword extends, and after this we write the name of the super interface, that is interface name 1, and after this we specify the body of the sub interface. As example here, now the atom constants is the first interface with two data atoms, that is code and name. Then atom methods is the second interface with one display method. After this, the atom interface extends atom constants and atom methods interface. Implementing interfaces. Interfaces are used as superclasses whose properties are inherited by the classes. This is done as follows. First the keyword class, then the class name, then extends superclass name. After this the keyword implements, and then list of interfaces to implement. Then we give the body of the class. What is packages? Packages are way of grouping a variety of classes or sub-interfaces together. The grouping is usually done according to the functionality. Packages acts as container for the classes. Following are the benefits of organizing classes into packages. Number 1. The classes contained in the packages of other programs can be easily reused. Number 2. In packages, classes can be unique compared with classes in other packages. That is, two classes in two different packages can have the same name. They may be referred by their fully qualified name consisting of the package name and the class name. Next, number 3. Packages provide a way to hide classes, thus preventing other programs or packages from accessing classes that are meant for internal use only. And number 4. Packages also provide a way for separating design from coding. First, we can design classes and decide their relationships, and then we can implement the Java code needed for the methods. It is possible to change the implementation of any method without affecting the rest of the design. Types of packages. Java packages are classified into two types, that is Java system packages and user defined packages. Now Java system packages. Java system provides a large number of classes grouped into different packages according to the functionality. Here the figure shows a functional breakdown of packages that are frequently used in the Java programs. Here the root package is the Java. In the Java package there are other packages, that is lang, util, input output, awt, net and applet. This table shows contents of these packages. Java.lang package contains language support classes. These are classes that Java compiler itself uses, and therefore they are automatically imported. They include classes for primitive types, strings, math functions, thread and exceptions. Java.util package contains language utility classes such as vectors, random numbers, date, etc. Java.io contains input-output support classes. They provide facilities for the input and output of data. Java.awt package contains set of classes for implementing graphical user interface. They include the classes for windows, buttons, list, etc. Java.net package contains classes for networking. These include classes for communicating with local computers as well as with internet server. Java.applet contains classes for creating and implementing applet. JavaX.swing contains classes for components, higher level controls, etc. Creating packages. The name of the package must be declared using the package keyword followed by a package name. This must be the first line in the Java source file. Then the class is defined. As given here, first we specify the package declaration statement by using the keyword package and then the package name as the first package. After this, we actually declare the class called as the first class. This listing would be saved as a file first.java and located in a folder or directory named as first package. When the source file is compiled, Java will create a bytecode, that is the class file, and store it in the same directory. Creating your own package involves the following steps. Number 1. Declare the package at the beginning of the file using the form package then package name. Number 2. Define the class that is to be put in the package and declare it public. Number 3. Create a subdirectory under the directory where the main source files are stored. Number 4. Store the listing as the classname.java file in the subdirectory created. And number 5. Compile the file. This creates the class file in the subdirectory. Java also supports the concept of package hierarchy. This is done by specifying multiple names in the package statement separated by dots. As an example now here, package, then first package dot second package. This approach allows to group related classes into a package and then group related packages into larger package. Accessing packages. A Java class can be accessed either by using a fully qualified class name or using a shortcut approach through the import statement. The general form of import statement is import, then the list of packages separated by dot, and at the end the class name. We can also use the following approach, that is import package name dot star. Here, the asterisk indicates that the compiler should search this entire package hierarchy when it encounters a class name. This implies that we can access all the classes contained in the above package directly. That is the end of this presentation. Thank you.